Course title, Floriculture. So today's topic will be on irrigation in mulberry plant. Under this, the subtopic will be irrigation and its objective, irrigation in relation to soil, appearance of mulberry crop, frequency of irrigation, quantity of water irrigated, interval between irrigation, quality of irrigation, methods of irrigation, influence on the leaf yield, quantity of leaf and provision for drainage. Who will tell me what is irrigation? What is the definition of irrigation? Irrigation means it is the artificial application of water to the land or to the soil. Why? Mainly because to ensure quality and maximum leaf yield, mulberry field require thorough irrigation. Step by step, I will explain all these terms. Okay? Needs of irrigation and why. Before this, mulberry plant. So tell me why mulberry plant it require irrigation? Why? Without irrigation, can we do mulberry? Then what is the use? Use of irrigation in mulberry plant. Not only in mulberry plant but also to all the other plants. Why? Provide optimum water level to the to the plant. Then first point. Yeah, the most important point, because when irrigation is applied, when there is drought, under rain-fed condition we totally dependent upon rainfall, but on the irrigation system supplementary irrigation is done. By some methods are there, methods of irrigation are there. Irrigation in relation to your fertilizer is very important. Without irrigation, means whatever fertilizer you will apply, it will not mix up properly. If you apply irrigation to the plant, then what will happen? And when you apply water, what is the relation? Fertilizer, manure, then water. Yeah, mix it properly and then it will distribute. What about distribute? Where it will distribute? To the root zone. Now needs of irrigation. Why? Why we need irrigation? First point, unknowingly wastage of water in the field, leaching, loss of nutrient. Due to unevenness of the land, irrigation in mulberry plots is never uniform. In some cases, mulberry also suffer from deficient irrigation. So all these 4 points, unknowingly wastage of water in the field. Some farmers are there, they used to pour water continuously in the hope that if there is scarcity of water, then his plant will not grow properly. They are very traditional thinking. They are very conservative. They never allowed to accept the new technology for irrigation. So what they used to do, they used to prepare bed. They used to pour water. So if they pour excess amount of water, then what will happen? What will happen? What will happen? Leaching, loss of the nutrient. First point, unknowingly wastes the water in the field. They don't know what amount of water has to be poured in the field. And after that, what will be the drawback? If they pour excess amount of water, there will be leaching loss, deep percolation of water, downward movement of the water, and then what will happen? There will be scarcity, leaching loss of the nutrient hole, what will happen? The plant, jimankhini nutrients pabo lage, the plant, it will loss through leaching. And secondly, mulberry plant in most places, they used to grow in undulating land. Undulating land means up and down, slope, means the land is not flat. So, due to unevenness of the land, irrigation in mulberry plot is never uniform. If the land is not flat, ups and downs are there, then what will happen? Whatever amount of water that plant it needs, it will not flow uniformly, up and down. Just imagine, just all about imagine kora, in a place, ups and downs ase, irrigation disa, then unevenness. Second, it point to buji paisa na nai? It's clear? Buisa? So, in some cases, mulberry also suffer from deficit of irrigation. In this way, unknowingly, because farmers sometimes they have little bit of knowledge regarding irrigation, so unknowingly there will be wastage of water, and as a result, in some places of his land, there will be deficit of irrigation. As a result, what will happen? The crop will die or it will lose. Now, irrigation in relation to soil. What does it mean? Irrigation in relation to soil? Any idea? Any idea? In relation to soil, it means, yes, it depended on the soil, depends on the field capacity. You can't pour excess amount of water in the field of your own choice. No. What will happen if you apply excess amount of water in the field? What will happen? Prothom point to asile leaching loss, then percolation of the deep percolation of the water, then unevenness to eta nahe, then wastage of water, then yes, very good. Plant will not get proper air, oxygen, lack of oxygen. Jodi ami excess water if we pour to the plant, then how you can connect with the mulberry plant? Connect ki koriba etia? These are the points, important points from your side. Then it mainly depend upon the field capacity. Juntu moi kolu, excess water we can't pour. So we have to pour requisite amount of quantity of water in the field, so that plants will take only that amount of water that needs for its growth and development. Then excess water is just a wastage. So say only 60 to 70% of the water, if absorbed by the plant, then the plant growth will be regulated. Uniform growth will be maintained. It's clear at this point? And if there is less amount of water, then there will be dry. The plant will what? Wilt. Second point, appearance of mulberry crop, means mulberry plant. What will happen if there is sufficient amount of water and insufficient amount of water in the soil? Then what effect will be there to that mulberry plant? Can anyone tell me? I will not point it out. Whoever wants to say, they can say. When there is sufficient amount of moisture in the soil, then the growth of mulberry will be luxuriant. Vigorous growth will be there. The leaf will become succulent, shiny, glossy, more amount of moisture, protein will be there. So if there is insufficient amount of water, then wilting will be there, stunted growth, chlorosis, yellowing of the leaf, and then the leaf will become smaller in size, dark green in color. These are the points which indicate inadequate supply of moisture or water in the soil. So this second point indicates that appearance of mulberry crop. Then third point, frequency of irrigation. Frequency of irrigation. There is a time to irrigate. You can't irrigate anytime you like. There should be some gap, interval. In those interval you have to apply water, you have to irrigate the plant. In India, the frequency it varies from around 15 days for clay loam soil and 8 to 10 days for sandy soil. Sandy soil mein gom paisa, clay loam soil mein gom paisa. So I will not explain this. Clearly it indicates the most critical period of irrigation is during November to April, so 12 to 15 irrigation are given. In West Bengal, mulberry fields are irrigated twice in a month, that is during November to December and April to May. In temperate region like Kashmir, it is irrigated twice in a month after summer pruning. What is that word, summer pruning? Have you heard this term, summer pruning? What is that summer pruning? I have already covered this pruning lecture. Summer pruning, spring pruning, remember? What is the summer pruning? Summer pruning means summer rot. The crops, the mulberry plant is pruned in summer month. When? After the spring rearing is over. After the spring rearing means silkworm rearing. After the silkworm rearing is over, that too in spring, the plant is pruned in the summer month so that new flushes, new leaves will come out when? Spring comes after summer. After summer comes for autumn. For autumn rearing so that new flushes will come out. Preparation. Pruning is, pruning পঢ়াইছিল নহয় কেলে pruning কৰে? For to get adequate supply of new leaves, new flushes. For autumn rearing, summer pruning is done. Summer pruning, we have to prune the plant in summer. After spring rearing is over. Clear? After every pruning, remember that irrigation has to be done. After every pruning, in mulberry plant. This point clear? Why the point is mentioned the most critical period of irrigation is during November to April? Why? Why November to April is the most critical period for mulberry plant? Why? Borokhun kom hoy. Less amount of rainfall. In winter what happen? Drought. Leaves hori jay. Hoy ki na hoy? Hekane critical boli ko November to April. And during this period, when there is there's an inadequate supply of water, rainfall is there, then we have to go for irrigation. Under rain-fed condition, ami irrigate koribo nalage. But if there is drought, then we have to irrigate the plant. Clear this point? This is a very simple point. In subtropical region, it is done weekly and fortnightly. Means these are the frequency of irrigation when you have to irrigate at what interval in tropical, temperate, subtropical region. You know what is fortnightly? Fortnightly? Yeah, at an interval of 14 days, fortnightly. In light sandy loam soil, irrigation once in 7 to 8 days interval and in heavy clay loam soil 8 to 10 days interval is irrigated. Etu bujila? Clay loam soil man to gom poa? What is clay loam soil? Is very heavy. In always remember one point, in clay loam soil irrigation interval to okoman time lage. 8 to 10 days interval. Then quantity of water irrigated. Frequency is over. At what interval we have to irrigate the plant. Next come quantity. The quantity is very important. For mulberry, it is necessary to bring the soil moisture. I already mentioned that sufficient amount of water is to be irrigated so that it covers the entire root zone. If root zone is deficient of water, then the plant growth will become stunted. They wilt. So, at least up to the root zone, it has to cover soil moisture himankhilake thakibo lagibo. Water. Hekene koise 3 feet, up to 3 feet in depth. Up to 3 feet in depth, you have to irrigate the what? The plot. About 50 to 75 millimeter per acre of water has to be applied to bring the moisture level up to the root zone. This much amount of water if you apply, then only it will cover up to the root zone. This point clear? Frequency of irrigation. Tell me, in what condition? It mainly depends upon frequency of irrigation. It depends upon soil type, then climatic condition and already mentioned soil type, agroclimatic condition and agroclimatic condition, physiological growth stages of the crop. Now, interval between irrigation. Interval. Already I mentioned frequency. Now, interval. In the tropical region, plant growth take place all the year round. This point. Tropical region. Which are the most important period in case of mulberry plant? Most critical period of mulberry plant. Kun keta stage sobotke important hoy? Mulberry plant, yes. One is sprouting stage and other is the foliar. Foliar mane go pesa? Leaf. One is the sprouting. After sprouting, then only new shoots will come out. From the shoots, new leaf will come out. So these two stages are most important stage. And during this stage, sufficient amount of and frequently water to the plant. So sufficient amount of water should be there and it should be irrigated frequently during these two periods. Sprouting stage and the foliar development phase. In the tropical region, plant growth take place all the year round. Not like temperate region. Tropical region like India. Have you seen mulberry in our department in the field? After sprouting, ki hoy? New leaves come out. Ako, the cycle continue. Growth hoy thake, sprout. So, in tropical region, plant growth take place all the year round. That's why I have mentioned this point. The first point. However, moisture shortage occur mostly during November to April. The point that Himshikar he mentioned. November to April is the most dangerous stage. Why? There is moisture shortage. What means the amount of water what is required to irrigate the plant. For the plant for its development is very less because the season is very dry, winter season, less amount of rainfall is there, and during this phase we have to irrigate the what? The plant, the soil. In temperate region, no supplementary irrigation is required. Temperate region like Kashmir, Japan, no supplementary irrigation is required. But in tropic, irrigation is required only when there is shortage of rainfall. In temperate region, it is about 100 to 200 millimeter per month rainfall is there. And in a place where there is sufficient amount of rainfall, 100 to 200 millimeter per month, then no supplementary irrigation is required. But for Karnataka, it is 600 millimeter per annum. That is why we go for irrigation. Clear? Next come quality of irrigation. We can't apply water, same point repeated. Dirty water, it will not work. The quality of water is very important. The water, it should not contain, means it should contain low amount of salt, calcium, magnesium, then bicarbonate, carbonate in a very low amount it should contain. And some departments are there which they always and frequently they used to check the quality of the water. So based on those value, those results, we have to pour the water in the field. Quality matters a lot. Influence of irrigation on the leaf yield. Can anyone tell me at least 1-2 sentences on this point? Influences of irrigation on the leaf yield. Leaf yield. How it is correlated? Irrigation to the leaf yield. How? Kune kobo? Leaf yield. Yes. Under rain-fed condition, what will happen? Under rain-fed condition? Yeah, leaf will be smaller, growth will be stunted. Pardon? Yeah, it will not be succulent, glossy, and moreover, the leaf yield is always higher in irrigated condition as compared to the rain-fed condition. Always remember this point. Under irrigated condition, leaf yield is always higher because sufficient amount of water is applied at a regular interval. Influence of irrigation on quality of leaf. Quality, who will say quality of leaf? It mainly depends upon the nutritive value of the leaf. Already I mentioned this point. Protein, moisture, it should be there in the leaf. If the leaf is succulent, glossy, fresh, light green in color, luxuriant growth is there, then ultimately it will affect the silkworm. Silkworm will grow vigorously. The weight of the silkworm larva will increase. If the weight of the silkworm larva will increase, then its cocoon will increase. Cocoon weight, shell weight will be higher. So this influence of irrigation on the quality of the leaf means interrelation, irrigation to leaf and leaf to the silkworm larva. Provision for drainage. It happens that sometimes excess water is poured, okay, but provision should be there for proper drainage of that excess water. If no drainage system is applied, then what will happen? If there is no proper drainage is there, then leaching of the nutrients will be there, percolation of the water will be there, then surface evaporation of the water will be there, then the plant will wilt, the leaves will become chlorotic. Wilt hole ki hobo gojpatu hukai mane heri hoy jabo mori jabo, and the most important thing, it will hamper in the growth of the plant. If we apply excess amount of water in the root zone, then there will be what? Oxygen to question to me point 2, oxygen to komibo. Yes, mechanical support of the plant, it will lahe decrease hobo. Very important point. Good. Now comes the method of irrigation. Furrow method, flatbed method, basin method, overhead or sprinkler method, and drip irrigation. Have you heard this term before? Furrow method? No? I have already mentioned, yeah, in fertilizer dose. Manures and fertilizer in mulberry plant, I have already covered that lecture, and in that lecture I have mentioned the term furrow. When the word comes furrow, then there will be ridges, furrow and the ridges. This one. Tell me, which one will be the furrow? This will be the furrow and this one will be the ridges. And these are the channels. These furrow are called the channels, and through these channels water is supplied from the main source. So these are the sources. Some pipes will be there. By this water is poured. This is a furrow method. In furrow method, a series of ridges and furrows are prepared. In this way, these are the furrow and this is the ridge. In this furrow, always remember one thing, in ridges and furrow, water is always irrigated in the furrow, not on the ridges. Why? If we apply more amount of water according to you, then there will be soil erosion. Okay? Up to that point. Then who wants to try? Why in ridges water is not poured? Yes. If we apply water directly to the plant, Himshikhar's point, the root development will be there. Lack of oxygen. If we pour excess amount of water in the root zone, plant, there will be suffocation. Suffocation hobo. And if we don't apply water here, then there will be freely airable. Free air circulation will be there, ultimately which help in the root development. And moreover, suppose this is a plant and these are the roots. Then how roots they get water? If we apply water in the furrow, not on the ridges, then how roots will get, these plants will get water? By the capillary movement of the water. Capillary movement of the water. At the level it is maintained. And this level, the roots are always planted on this side, corner side. The roots, they get easily water. Lagi thake no? Usor se ke hoy? Capillary movement of the water. The root, the plant they used to get moisture from the furrow. And tell me now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of this, advantages and disadvantages of furrow and ridges method? Read this one. Just go through this slide. The field is laid out into series of ridges and furrow. The basal part of the furrow is made wet by applying water, and this method is more efficient from the point of view in economic use of water. Advantages of furrow method. Water can be used economically. It can be used economically. Can I get? Yes. Jiman khini amar dorkar, that sufficient amount of water only we will supply. And moreover, okay, I will come to you later, okay, this point. It is suitable for wide space and close space mulberry plantation. Wider spacing and closer spacing. For both this condition, it is suitable. Evaporation from the soil surface is relatively less. Evaporation. This point clear? The third point, I don't think that this point I have to explain repeatedly. So these are the common things. The ridges carrying the plantar system are freely aerable and help in root development, and the furrow they serve as a drainage channel during heavy rain. These 5 points are clear. The furrow they serve as a drainage during heavy rain. When there is heavy rain, high amount of water will be there, and in that condition furrow they serve as a drainage. Excess water is removed. Flatbed method. Flatbed method. In a flatbed method, have you seen in the field, mainly in the rice field, rectangular beds are prepared. Rectangular beds are prepared on all the sides. This is the bed of in a rectangular size. Then there will be bunds all around. Bunds mane gompo, do you know what is bun? All around bunds will be there. This one. So here some channels will be there. Some gap will be there in between. This gap is called channel. Adjacent bed. You know what is adjacent bed? One bed to another. There will be some channel will be there. Through this channel water is supplied from a common source. Eta point khini swa? Buji pala? This one. In a field, some rectangular size plot is prepared, and all around bunds are there. Bunds. Bunds means compo. What is bun? So similarly, this way another rectangular plot will be there. So the space in between is called to be as a channel, and through this channel water is supplied from a common source. And when it comes slowly, it will cover the plot with water from one corner to another. Pani jodi dia, obviously it will cover the whole plot. This is called the flat bed method. Advantage. it is suitable to almost all soil type. Relatively economic in use of water. There is low wastage of water due to surface runoff. This point, irrigation is quicker than other systems. The third point, there is low wastage of water due to surface runoff. In flatbed method, there is no soil erosion. As because it is covered all with bunds. No soil erosion, but there will be surface runoff of water. There will be water covering this plot slowly and slowly. Surface runoff will be there. Evaporation of water will be there. গম পালা? সেখানে quicker than in other system. Irrigation to frequently কৰি থাকিব লগা হয়. We have to irrigate the plant, this plot frequently. Then disadvantages. More labor requirement for forming beds and more wastage of space. Agree? Labor will be there. Beds banabo karone to prepare those beds, and more space is required. Basin method. Although this one is the palm tree, okay? Palm tree. The only idea I am showing this picture to you all is that to give an idea what is the basin method. Basin method is suitable mostly for the tree plantation. Ring. One ring is prepared. It should be deeply excavated. The soil, and on that irrigation is applied. So this one. Have you seen this? These are the channel. Clearly, these are the channel and these are the palm tree with the basin method. When water is supplied from a common source, then those water will pass through this channel, and there is also channels in between two plant. Then it will irrigate both the plant. Then slowly it will irrigate the other. Whole plot it will be irrigated. The diagram is not that clear. বুঝি পোৱা নাই? পালা? This is the basin. It should be deep. This is another tree, mulberry tree. Basin. So there will be a common channel like furrow. There will be a common channel, and this way it will be connected. This way it will be connected. When water will be applied, it will pass from this channel, this lateral to the sublateral channel, and then to the basin. Clear? Oh, sorry, in between these two basin, there will be no channel. Clear? Overhead or sprinkler method of irrigation. Have you heard this term? Sprinkler irrigation? This one, mostly in the tea garden, in the orchard. Sprinkler irrigation. Overhead or sprinkler method. It is mostly practiced in undulating land where low and high bushes. You know what is undulating land? Ups and down. It is called undulating land where low and high bushes are cultivated. Now what is the advantage? Most efficient in economizing use of water. Uniform distribution of water on the foliage. It is true, water will be distributed to the plant uniformly. The foliage will remain what? Dirty or clean? Clean. The percolation loss will be reduced. You know percolation loss? কেনেকৈ হ'ব? If the water is sprinkled, those water will uniformly distributed on the plants, not directly on the soil, and as a result percolation loss will be reduced. More suited for emergency irrigation. It keeps the surrounding soil wet. Wet kori rakhe, only wet, but percolation loss is reduced. Disadvantages: high cost of installation because of the cost of the pipe. Those pipeline, submain pipe, they are very costly. So because of the high cost of installation, this is not used by the common Indian rearer. Common Indian rearer means the poor Indian rearer. Drip irrigation or micro irrigation. Drip irrigation. You know drip irrigation? Drop by drop. Have you seen drip irrigation? Is an innovative method of irrigation wherein the required quantity of water is applied only in the root zone through some micro tubes are there. Micro tubes. This one. In this way it is lined, and this is the pipe, this is a lateral pipe, sublateral pipe, and some dropper will be there, emitter. Emitter means from which the water will flow out drop by drop. It will wet that region, dry kori narakhe. Clear? This is called drip irrigation. The total leaf yield and its quality is improved by this method. This point clear? This point clear? It minimizes the mandates for irrigation. It minimizes the mandates for irrigation. What does it mean? Even at night time also it can be irrigated without entering into the plot, because there will be channels, there will be droppers which are fitted at the base of the plant. So without entering the plot, irrigation is done. So number of mandates is reduced. It minimizes water loss. Expenditure on irrigation is reduced. It also helps in avoiding soil erosion and weed growth. Disadvantage: initial cost of installation is very high, same like sprinkler method, and micro holes sometimes get clogged. This one is very important. The water, it comes out through some emitters. Those are called to be as a dropper line. Sometimes those holes they get clogged. Clogged mane kom paisa? Bondho hoi jay. How? Sometimes by the root of the plant, they used to go kenaka jay movement jene jay. So sometimes roots may enter into that hole and it might clog the hole. Then second point, dirty water with full of moss and all, if it is there, then it will clog that micro holes. Then third point, বৰষুণ দিলে মাটিটো সোমাই যাব, বোকা পানী. Yes, important points khini he mentioned the most important point. Algal growth. So many points are there by which clogging is there. Clogging occurs in the holes, and if clog is there, then what will happen? The requisite amount of water, it can't be supplied to the plant, to that fill.